Alicia. Getting the light better for you. I mean, you don't have to move. It's my job to accomplish this. Oh, what a nice pair of hands you have. Okay.
You say that all.
No? Has anybody been around me? I don't say that.
No.
To everybody.
Everything
He
is
doesn't
different.
say that.
No,
Nope, nope, wrong, Alicia.
no, I don't say that. Okay. These are very smart hands, and they're attached to you, so take whatever conclusion that you wish. And they're they have a mental, intellectual framework as it seeks to understand and create a frame of reference for any circumstance that it's in, so it can observe and manipulate the circumstance. And I don't mean that like a tie young girls to the railroad track manipulation. I mean, I see what's going on. Okay, this is okay, so that I can get what I want out of it. Now that I know what's going on, I can assert in the circumstance in the way that makes the most sense for me. This is a hand that is at its best when it's working on big ideas. And big ideas in a way that I'm going to describe by telling you a short story. So I have a student in San Francisco who has hands similar to yours. And when I first met her, she told me that she was writing a book. And I said, oh, that's good. That'll keep, gotta be smart to write a book. It really challenges a person to clarify what they're thinking about and to put it out clearly to people. And I asked her what the book was about. I'm not reading her hands, I was just talking to her. And she says it's a book about fashion and makeup and stuff like that. And I said, oh, okay, great. A lot of books on that topic sell and make money. Cookbooks, fashion, big sellers. So I looked at her hands. She had hands like yours. I said, oh, that's too small. Are you kidding? These hands want to change the world. They want to change the paradigm. They want to take the world like this by the lapels and rearrange it completely. She said, well, really, it is a book about women's power, and I sneak all that. It says fashion and makeup, but it's really about how to find out who you really are so that you could, kick butt and change the whole world. And that's we'll start with one woman's eyelash at a time. That's my phrasing, not hers.
Wow. Yeah.
I said, oh, okay, that sounds big. Okay. So these hands want to be involved in projects that are big, that can bring in a big reward, and that would engage a person who wanted to do something big. So I would have no way of knowing by looking at your hands whether you're doing something big enough for you. But if not, trouble. So to me, as those who've been around me a little bit know, first order of business, rule number one is be who you is. And then we could start looking at rules number 2 and 3. But the first thing to do is to get in costume, be the you that you're designed to be, or at least approximately. And you're a big thinker looking for projects that will have a big reward, and you can assert within the territory of that big project. Okay. Again, you could be like the mailroom clerk on the 3rd sub-basement of Gimbel's, which has been out of business for 20 years now or something. Or you could be doing something big. I have no way of knowing. But you can tell me something big, half big, not so big. How are you doing with up to something big? Your hesitation worries me. When I check with Donald Trump on that question, with his answer.
Exactly, it's in the creative process still.
So you're not
I've been working on it I take each day at a time, and...
Oh, excuse me, it means you haven't cashed in
No.
in any big way yet? Think of Donald not cashing in a big way. He'd have something positive to say about the learning experience and, how many people have come back, blah, blah, blah. Donald wants to go like this, doesn't he? Yeah. For purposes of the audio device, that's pulling in all the chips.
Yeah.
Yeah. These hands too.
Yeah.
These hands too. Yeah, by the way, let me take a photo now of how you looked at me. when I said that. But I'm a good person.
Well, I think of it as like how you said, wanting to change the world, so being a part of that.
Don't you think you need ways and means to pull that off?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your hands are very much a ways and means. You're very much a ways and means type of gal as far as your hands indicate to me. Again, it would be interesting for you to look at the mirror of the look that you gave me,
Yeah.
as if maybe I was saying something not nice about you. Not at all. I'm describing what I like about you the most. At your best, you've created lots of ways and means so that you could do stuff big. And these are money-oriented hands. And I know when I'm in the Bay Area, which is where I live, I say that to people. They usually, I could have said that their mother wears army boots and gotten a better response. What are you saying? I'm not spiritual? What are you saying? I'm not good? No. These are money. These hands should have plenty of cash to be playing with so that you could do the big things that you're up to.
Right.
Want to let Donald Trump have all those chips so he could build the world according to Trumpitude? Oh my word, you would do a much better job than Donald. Okay, there are dangers in your hands that are what I consider to be the right dangers or the right problems.
Okay.
And the right problem for you, I'm suggesting, is the lonely at the top problem, which would mean that you're up to here doing something big, but you haven't had enough time for relationship and the smelling of roses. And that's a balancing that is, if you're wrestling with that, that's what you're supposed to be wrestling with. If you're leaving the chips on the table because you don't want to be too greedy and, it would diminish the guy playing poker from over there or something, and I want to be nice to him because, it's close to, who knows what could possibly go through your mind. If you're not pulling in the chips, then you don't get to grapple with the problem that I'm suggesting is your right problem to grappling with. Can you be that successful and be changing things and keep your life in balance enough for relationship and smelling roses? But if you try to smell roses and have relationship stuff happen to your advantage, but not pulling in the chips, you'll be actually sabotaging both of those. You won't like the roses. You feel like something bigger is missing.
Very helpful.
According to your hand reader, certainly you can come to your own conclusions. You would anyway, but I like to say that
Right.
several times. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. Okay, so let's stay on this tactic. How am I doing with time? Oh, I'm going overtime for you. So I'm going to go overtime for the two of you because you guys are new. So, how good are you at figuring out an action plan for a problem at hand? Let me put you in a circumstance you probably haven't been. All whatever we are, like 10 of us here, we swim to the desert island because the boat sank, and so here we are. So, is your brain already going? Okay, first thing we need to do is to take care of the injured person. Second thing we need to do is to set up a signaling system. Did the radio make it to? Let's bring in the boxes that are. How fast does your brain start creating an action plan that is just being like typed out like this?
If it's an emergency situation, very quickly.
Automatically.
If I have too much time.
It's automatically. You're designed to do exactly like that. You have a action plan solution brain that less than 1% of the people have, and I didn't even see that until just a few moments ago in your reading when I looked a little closer, indicating again about the smartness that I was looking at. But if I look at that solution, wouldn't that be a kind of like tough as nails, this is what's going to work, sorry if it bothers Sally, that we don't let Sally hold the flag on the top of the hill because we're probably all doomed. The part of you that creates the plan doesn't have Sally doing the signaling.
Right. Put her in a different role.
Oh yeah, we want to survive this. But I don't know if you're going to be willing to follow your own brain's solutioning in your own life. So I put you in an artificial circumstance that you're probably never going to be in. And your brain immediately came up with probably the best solution of all of us in terms of what actions would yield the best results. But I take that same brain and put it in your own life.
Right.
And I don't know if you're going to listen to her, even register exactly what she says, because you might not want to hear what she says. It would perhaps make you kind of stuck to do what would be uncomfortable. It would be easier to lose her report someplace a little. If you could follow my picture process. Okay. So I'm describing you as a big thinker so far, right?
Yeah.
Big thinker who's has particular thinkerhood capabilities. Okay. Oh, that's very interesting. Yeah. Wow, interestinger. Wow. Okay. This is in your fingerprints before you're born now, what's coming out on the CD.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a part of you, just exactly what I was saying, there's a part of you afraid to, remember, you don't have circumstances yet, but already imprinted in your fingerprints, there's a part of you that's afraid of deploying what you see, what you know, what you're capable of. And it's as if you do that, it's not to do what you're best at. Says a piece of your fingerprints. And one could say that you came into this life to unravel that, let's call it a tape, to unravel that tape and to excise it. Now, think about this, I described you as kind of a ruthless high roller in one sense,
Right.
and I didn't mean that in a negative way. The ruthless part of you is the one that figured out the best way to get things done, irregardless of the feelings of the team members, right? I'm not calling you a ruthless person, I'm just saying that your brain thinks that way. So there's a part of you that needed the I would feel guilty if I did what I really want to do piece, because she's the vice president that's supposed to talk you out of some of the things that you would have thought of.
Who's she?
A piece of you.
Oh, okay.
This is a programmed piece of you that was there before you were born. Call it a karmic fragment. It's your life lesson. It's there to keep you from being too arrogantly achiever-ish. How many people get into high positions, do big things, and then abuse the privilege? And make it too much about me, 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 me. Including the namesake that I used in this reading early on, Trump. I mean, at least that's what most people think he's like. I don't know, I haven't met him. But doesn't he seem like it's all about me? Seems that way to me. Yeah. So you have a part of you that would feel just appalled if you even have those thoughts.
Right.
Right. She was built in as a counterweight. She wasn't built in to steer your ship, and the rest of you and your other vice presidents are in the back thinking of all the things you could be doing, but she's driving to make sure that you don't get too far so that you won't have to feel terrible about all the bad things that you thought and all the plans that you made and how greedy, egocentric you became. She's trying to keep you from doing any of your plans. She's coming up with plans for 2014 right now to keep you from implementing your plans.
It's okay. True.
So that you won't have to deal with feeling bad. But you were just this big then. You have more resources now. You can handle succeeding now.
Okay then. Wow.
Take a breath.
Okay, take a breath.
That's been a phone call.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.